Hey, social media family. I'm Ramona Phillips, the Healthy Mind Strategist. Welcome to Conquering Codependency. Okay, I help hurting people grow past that trauma into authentic leadership, regardless of their area of expertise, because we've all been through trauma, some deeply distressing, disturbing experiences. So I'm going to get right into the lesson tonight. And my topic is taking care of ourselves on the job, taking care of ourselves on the job, okay? So it's okay to take care of ourselves on the job. It is not only okay, it is necessary. Taking care of ourselves on the job means we deal with feelings appropriately. We take responsibility for ourselves. We learn to detach. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you guys for coming in, and thank you just for your support and just enjoying the programs. So anyway, taking care of ourselves on the job means we deal with feelings appropriately. We take responsibility for ourselves. We detach when detachment is called for. In other words, when we have to separate ourselves, or if the boss is fussing or something like that, we don't have to give our power away because someone else around us is maybe acting inappropriately. So we detach when detachment is called for. We set boundaries. Let me go back to detachment again. That also consists of getting caught up and, gossip in the workplace and things like that. It's okay someone might start a conversation. It's okay to, let's just say some people are starting a conversation. It's okay to take responsibility for our own feelings and the way that we think and the way that we behave, and we choose not to get involved in certain things. It's okay to walk away. It's okay not to say anything. It's okay to detach when it's called for. We set boundaries when we need to do that. We negotiate conflicts. We try to separate ourselves from the issues, from the other people's issues. Excuse me. We try to separate ourselves from the other person's issues, and we don't expect perfection from ourselves or from others. We negotiate conflicts. We try to separate ourselves from the other person's issues. I'm sorry. I went over. Let me do that again. We negotiate conflicts. We try to separate ourselves from another person's issues, and we don't expect perfection from ourselves or others. We let go of our need to control that which we cannot control. Instead, we strive for peace and manageability, owning our power to be who we are and to take care of ourselves. Is it too dark? Is it too dark? Because I can... Hold on for a minute. Let me lighten this up. I think that's just enough. I don't want to look back and realize it's too dark. And I could lighten it up on my phone, but I don't want to mess up the video. So let me just keep going. Okay, where was I? Okay, so we do not tolerate abuse in the workplace or with anyone else, right? Okay, great. Thank you. We do not tolerate abuse, nor do we abuse or mistreat anyone else. We work at letting go of our fear and developing appropriate confidence. We try to learn from our mistakes, but we forgive ourselves when we make them. How many of us make mistakes sometimes and just all of a sudden you feel guilty, like you had to be perfect, and you feel exposed, right? We give ourselves permission to make mistakes because we're not perfect. We try to not set ourselves up by taking jobs that couldn't possibly work out, right? Or jobs that aren't right for us, okay? If we find ourselves in one of those circumstances, we address the issue responsibly. We figure out what our responsibilities are, right? What about that job description and some people trying to take your kindness for weakness, right? We figure out what our responsibilities are, and we generally stick to those unless another agreement is made. We leave room for great days and not so great days. We are gentle and loving with people whenever possible, but we are assertive. We are assertive and firm when that is called for. We accept our strengths and build on them. We accept our weaknesses and limitations, including the limitations of our power. We strive to stop trying to control and change what is not our business to change. We focus on what is our responsibility and what we can change. We set reasonable goals. We take ourselves into account and we strive for balance. We strive for balance. Sometimes we give ourselves a good gripe session to let it all out, But we do that appropriately, in a way meant to take care of ourselves and release our feelings. Remember, we got to release that negative energy or release those negative emotions, not to sabotage ourselves. We strive to avoid malicious gossip. I spoke about that already. So we strive to avoid malicious gossip and other self-defeating behaviors. In other words, we don't want to get caught up in a bunch of drama at work, right? We avoid competition. I know. We avoid competition. Stay in your own lane, handle your business, do what you know you can do, right? We avoid competition, strive for cooperation and a loving spirit. Remember, God looks at the heart. We understand that we may like some people we work with and dislike others. Usually it's their personality, the way they're behaving or treating us or other people, right? But strive to find harmony and balance with everyone the best way you can, right? In other words, try to keep the peace, but don't be a doormat, okay? We do not deny how we feel about a certain person, but we strive to maintain good working relationships wherever possible, right? And when we don't know, we say we don't know. And when we need help, we ask for it directly and not feel ashamed about it. When panic sets in, we address the panic as a separate issue and try not to let our work and behavior be controlled by the panic. Do I need to read that again? When panic sets in, we address the panic as a separate issue and try not to let our work and behavior be controlled by panic. So in other words, we may have to step away from our desk, walk away, or, find a few minutes to ourselves and begin to calm ourselves down. Or just even at your desk or wherever you are, maybe you just need to pause and begin to breathe and calm yourself down and affirm yourself and, talk to God, say a prayer, right? We strive to take responsible care of ourselves. That's what I just addressed. By appropriately asking for what we need at work as well, while not neglecting ourselves. We must be aware of that. We must know whether we're neglecting ourselves or not at work, or letting people treat us like we're doormats, right? And then we feel resentful. So to try to avoid that, we learn to be confident as to what it is we can and cannot do, and reach out for help and ask for help and not apologize about that, right? Because that's another way that we learn as well. So if we are part of a team, we strive for healthy teamwork as an opportunity to learn how to work in cooperation with others, which is important because it's good to be able to work independently, but it's also good to be able to work with a team without trying to control the whole team or feeling or not speaking up for ourselves if someone has some controlling issues and they're trying to take over and they're being aggressive or somewhat narcissistic, right? So we make sure that we're taking care of ourselves, especially in relationships and especially when we're around other people too. So if someone gets or feels crazy, here we go. If something gets or feels crazy, if we find ourselves working with a person who is addicted or has some kind of dysfunction that is troublesome, to put it nicely, and I just addressed that, we do not make ourselves crazier by denying the problem. We accept it and strive in peace to figure out what we need to do to take care of ourselves. And we don't give our power away to someone that is aggressive and narcissistic or something like that. And in many cases, when people behave that way, they want to shake things up. They like, frustrating people. The best thing is let them own let them own their energy. Let them own their own negative emotions and take responsibility for it. Say as less as possible, because many times they're looking for an argument. Okay? So anyway, I'm going to say it again. We accept it and strive in peace to figure out what we need to do to take care of ourselves. We let go of our need to be martyrs or rescuers at work. And we know we do not have to stay in situations that make us miserable, right? Instead of sabotaging a system or ourselves, we plan a positive solution. Understanding we need to take responsibility for ourselves along the way. We remove ourselves as victims. We're victors, not victims. We remove ourselves as victims. And we work at believing we deserve the best, even if that means leaving that particular workplace. We practice acceptance, gratitude, and faith, one day at a time. We strive to enjoy what is good, solve the problems that are ours to solve. Solve the problems that are ours to solve, not trying to solve everybody's problems. And give the gift of ourselves at work. Okay? So today I will pay attention to what recovery or recovery behaviors, because remember we're unlearning some things, right? We're challenging old belief systems and some things, some behaviors and mindsets we're learning to let go. So today I will pay attention to what recovery behaviors I could practice that would improve my work life. I will take care of myself on the job. God help me to let go of my need to be victimized by work, right? We want to be grateful for our jobs, and we want to be willing to speak up for ourselves and hold people accountable. And make sure we're holding ourselves accountable, how we're treating other people. Strive for peace, but speak up for ourselves. Ask for help when we need it, right? So, I will take care of myself on the job. God help me to let go of my need to be victimized by work. Even, like I said, ask for help if you need it. Do the best you can. Don't beat up on yourself because you expect yourself to be perfect, right? So help me be open to all the good stuff that is available to me through work. Help me be open to all the good stuff that is available to me through work. And some things are good and people are not perfect, right? Right? There's lessons to learn in every experience, especially when we're connecting with other people. Every experience that we go through, it's important to look for opportunities to grow, look for the lessons in every opportunity, as opposed to feeling like we're the victims, okay? All right. We don't want to be victimized. And if we get caught up in gossiping and complaining, that's just going to make matters worse. Sometimes we do need to step away and have a conversation with someone, right? Right. And sometimes we just want to call a friend or something, right? And vent a little bit, but be very wise in the workplace, because especially when you see the same people every day, be very wise. I would say make sure boundaries are there. In other words, don't get so comfortable that you're telling everybody at the workplace all of your business. You know how people get too caught. My experience in the workplace and working in departments and things like that, I noticed that people can get too comfortable and start treating each other almost like their family. And then, then we get frustrated when people start commenting on a personal business and things like that, information that we have given them, or we've given them information in the past, and now they don't know boundaries, and now they're all up in your business, and it's frustrating, right? So always make sure that you have healthy boundaries at work, right? Remember, these people are your co-workers, not your family, right? Right? And never be afraid to try new things, in other words. And if you're really, really miserable there, either make some changes in your behavior, speak up when you need to, and if it's not working out, trust God for another job. And he may be shifting you anyway, okay? I'm Ramona Phillips, the Healthy Mind Strategist. Thank you for joining me on Conquering Codependency, okay? If you need coaching, if you're really struggling emotionally, you can email me at traumadefeated@gmail.com, traumadefeated@gmail.com, or reach out to, click on my profile and just connect with me, okay? I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Thanks for joining.